For decades, we've been told a lie, one so well packaged, advertised and repeated that most growers never thought to question it. The claim was simple. Fertilizers are the secret to healthy soil and abundant crops. The truth? Fertilizers don't build life, they replace it. They don't make your soil stronger, they make it dependent. And today, as gardeners and growers face weaker soil, failing crops and higher costs, it's time to confront the myth head-on. Because there's one thing your soil actually needs, and it's not synthetic. Stay with me for the next minute, because what I'm about to reveal has been quietly known by generations of real soil stewards, long before the fertilizer industry turned farming into chemistry. The truth is that fertilizers are like caffeine for your plants. Temporary energy, long-term burnout. When you pour synthetic fertilizer into the ground, it gives your plants a quick hit of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. You'll see faster growth, greener leaves, and maybe even larger fruits. But beneath the surface, something far more damaging happens. The microbes that naturally feed your soil start to die off. These bacteria and fungi are the living engines that break down organic matter into nutrients plants can actually use in balance. Without them, the soil becomes lifeless, a hollow medium that can only function with more fertilizer. It's a vicious cycle that weakens your soil structure, drives away worms, and increases your dependency on chemical input. During the mid-20th century, especially after World War II, fertilizer companies convinced entire nations that chemistry could replace biology. Their products were born out of munitions factories. Ammonium nitrate for bombs was repurposed into nitrogen fertilizer for farms. It looked like a miracle: explosive plant growth, quick yields and massive profits. But the farmers who paid attention saw what happened over time. Their soil compacted, water retention dropped, and pests increased. They had to use more chemicals to keep the same results. The earth was hooked like an addict. Healthy soil isn't a formula. It's a living ecosystem. Every teaspoon of living soil contains billions of microorganisms. These microbes break down decaying matter, recycle minerals, and release nutrients slowly and in perfect proportion to what plants need. When you maintain that balance, your soil becomes self-fertilizing. Instead of pushing growth through synthetic nutrients, you encourage a natural exchange between plant roots and the microbial community. The roots release sugars that feed the microbes, and in return, the microbes unlock minerals and nitrogen from organic matter. It's an ancient system, and it works perfectly, until you interfere with fertilizer. If you want your soil to stay alive, stop feeding it chemicals and start feeding it organic matter. The best way to do that is through compost and worm castings, nature's real fertilizers. Compost brings back microbial diversity. Worm castings, on the other hand, supercharge that process. They contain beneficial bacteria, humic acids, and trace minerals that improve soil structure and boost nutrient absorption naturally. You can make both at home without spending a cent. The process starts by returning what nature gave you. Take your kitchen scraps, vegetable peels, fruit waste, coffee grounds, eggshells, and combine them with dried leaves, shredded cardboard, or straw. This creates the perfect balance between nitrogen and carbon. Keep the pile moist but not soaked, and turn it once every few days to let oxygen in. In about 2 months, you'll have dark, crumbly compost that smells like fresh earth. That's living soil food. nutrient-rich, and teeming with microbes. Now, take it one step further. Add red wigglers or African night crawlers to your compost system. These worms consume organic waste and release castings that are naturally balanced in nutrients. You can mix these castings directly into your soil or make a compost tea by soaking them in water for 24 hours. Spray that tea on your plants or pour it at the roots. It will feed your plants and boost microbial activity instantly. No chemicals needed. This is exactly how growers survived before modern fertilizers existed. In the 1950s and 60s, when Cold War fears pushed nations to consider self-sufficiency, government survival manuals actually encouraged composting. The logic was simple, really. In case of supply disruption, synthetic fertilizers wouldn't be available, but organic waste would be everywhere. Families were shown how to dig compost trenches, layer organic materials, and build small worm pits to recycle kitchen waste into fertile soil. That knowledge quietly sustained communities through crises and crop failures. Today, it's just as relevant. Whether you're growing food in a backyard garden or maintaining a few raised beds, you're sitting on the same secret tool that fed entire civilizations before modern agriculture took over. When you stop using fertilizers, your soil begins to repair itself. It doesn't happen overnight, but the change is visible within weeks. The first thing you'll notice is moisture retention. Your soil will stay damp longer after rain. Then you'll see worms returning, creating tunnels that aerate the soil. Over time, plant health improves dramatically. You'll use less water, fight fewer pests, and see stronger yields without ever needing store-bought fertilizer again. That's because living soil doesn't just feed plants. It protects them. The microbial network strengthens plant immunity and creates natural resistance against disease. You can rebuild your soil right now, starting small. Choose one garden bed or planting area and stop using chemical fertilizer completely. Instead, spread a 2-inch layer of compost on top of the soil and water it in. Don't till it. Just let it sit. Over the next few weeks, microbes and worms will pull that compost down naturally, restoring the topsoil layer. Keep adding organic material, mulch, leaves or grass clippings to maintain the cycle. Within a season, you'll have visibly darker, looser and richer soil. That's the sign of recovery, the kind that fertilizers will never give you. The truth they don't want you to know is that soil can feed itself. You don't need expensive products or factory-made formulas. You just need to understand what soil really is. A living, breathing organism. Every handful contains the potential to grow life endlessly, as long as you don't poison it with short-term fixes. When you feed your soil with organic matter, you're giving it the ability to sustain itself indefinitely. That's how ancient farmers thrived. That's how modern gardeners can break free from the fertilizer trap today. So, the next time you're tempted to reach for a bag of NPK, stop and look down. The answer's already under your feet. Feed your soil with life, not chemistry, and it'll pay you back for decades. If you found this guide valuable, don't let it end here. Share it with someone who still believes in the fertilizer myth and help them rebuild their soil the right way. Subscribe to Hydra Haven for more proven methods, historical insights, and natural systems that keep your garden alive, resilient, and chemical-free.